Hello everyone, I'm Alan, player in 2009, and today I'm back playing Derail Valley. Haven't played this for a little while, I also haven't streamed for a little while. I think the last time I attempted it was last week, or my last rest period, and I tried streaming, what was it? I tried streaming, Hunter Call of the Wild. And it didn't go so well. Turns out I'm not particularly good at it. But I'm back playing a game that I do normally stream. I do want to branch out and try more things, but I haven't gotten there yet. Alright, so as of right now, you can tell we are currently in the machine factory. And ideally, I want to get back to the harbor, because that's where most of the stuff that I want to do is. Alright. So, more than likely, we're going to take the long way around. Alright. These are all going to the steel mill. So, we're going to load all of these. Or we're going to get all of these ready. And that's going to Oil Well North. Food factory. Coal mine. Alright. So, we're going to do some scrap metal. It's not exactly glamorous. Actually, you know what? Let's check that. Let's go over here real quick. Let's check the military office. Nothing going that way. Okay, yeah. Scrap metal is the way to go. Alright. So, we're going to start off by loading these cars. So, let's shove this in there. Grab this. They're on C2S. Okay. Alright. Well, we gotta go get our engines. So let's grab our little remote. Why is that there? Alright, we need pocket watch. Nope. Nope, still not good. Close enough. That's great. Alright, so the last time that I played, I got back to the machine factory, bought a couple more things at the store. As you can see, we now have an extra lantern, an extra EOT lantern, an extra flashlight, and we're good. But we had to go over here, and we had to refuel everything. So, let's start turning everything back on. Alright, so knock off brakes. Let's see. The breakers should still be up. Okay, good. Alright, that still hasn't been fixed, but it's whatever. That's kind of like a weird thing. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but it's annoying as hell. Alright. Alright. Brakes off. That's the slug, so it doesn't get turned on. It's controlled from here. Now, there are two ways we can do this. Since we're going that way, what I'm probably gonna do is I'll go out that way down the hill, and then I will shove back into that yard over there to get to these. They're in C and B. Right now, those tracks are lined for B. So we're gonna have to deal with that. Alright. Alright, good to go. Okay, now we go right here. Alright, those should not be like that. I mean, I should have at least set the independent, but I didn't. Alright, let's go out on the nose. Is we need to jump off at that switch over there. Is we gotta go up that way. I mean, what we should do is go get the one off of B first, because we're already lined for the B track. But if we made good decisions, we wouldn't be doing this. Now, the thing is that this, up around that bend over there, it starts going downhill. So you might be thinking, why in God's name would we turn on 3.5 engines if we're just moving a couple of cars? And the truth is, we don't really need that many. At least the good news is we lined this switch previously. Okay. We lined this switch previously, so we don't have to worry about getting headroom. Alright, now, no. Alright, we're currently lined. Alright, we are currently lined to go into B. However, we are not lined into the through track. This looks like a gondola. 944. All right, perfect. So this is specifically the car that we need. Let's get that opened up. Okay. We are flying in here way too fast. Alright, we gotta get under 7. See, this spot right here, this is like the dumbest crossing. Because you can't use this crossing. The AI blocks it. Did I? Oh, for fuck's sake. And just like that, we're getting fired. Alright, let me explain to you what just happened as we update the counter. Okay. Now, you look right here. This is the car we need. This is the track we need. We did not properly line our route. I opened up the angle cock, but I did not verify that my route was lined the way that it was supposed to. And this is what happens. You go down a track you're not authorized to use. If I would have even touched that car over there, I absolutely would be fired. However, the good news is, since all we did was go down the wrong track, and we didn't touch anything, we just get taken out of service for a while. Alright, so this switch was supposed to be lined to go that way, and as you can see, it was not. But yeah, this crossing is like stupid because the game blocks the crossing. Like, I brought in the auto racks. I didn't bring those in. So you couldn't drive across this if you wanted to. You would have to go down the street and cross over there. It would be annoying as all hell. Maybe one day these will actually, like, light up. Now, truthfully, we don't need to be going that fast because this is going to happen. Now, the real question is, did we accidentally push this into the foul of the other switch? And the answer is technically no, but it's not good. So basically we hit this car a little too hard. Alright. Let's grab this right here. Grab this. Open. Good. Alright, now we've only got one car, but we still got to go back here and make sure that we have airflow. And we're good. Okay. So, pop this thing into reverse. And grab this. And we got to go to C2. Alright, now, in order to get to C... Well, and we also have to line for B4 out, which is pretty handy. Alright, let's make sure we got 2 on here. Alright. Alright, 60 is gonna be the last one. Let's do it that way. Alright. So, that switch that we just threw because we went the wrong way. Actually, no, it's a different switch. Never mind. So, ignore what I was about to say. God damn it. You know what we did this time? Update the counter. Okay. Alright, what we just did, you hear that ear-splitting screech going off in the distance? That's because our one car still has the brake applied. Let's just turn that off. Now, in real life, you can move cars with the handbrakes applied. It's not a good idea, and it starts building up flat spots on the wheels. But it can be done. In fact, we stupidly do it in yard operations a lot more than we should. But the saving grace is, luckily, it takes a lot to cause that to happen. Okay. But the point is, it's important to be conscious that it can happen. Luckily, the game isn't realistic enough that it causes damage like it does in real life. But there's a reason that there used to be it's like there's a reason that there was a realism mod that did things like that. Things like running through a switch could break stuff, which that is a thing, by the way. But we've covered that many, many times. Or at least we've covered it many times since I've actually started working for the railroad. Because before I started working for the railroad, I didn't know that. Alright. Okay. Now, let's go into the C lot. And we gotta grab these cars right here. Alright. Alright, now let's double check these car numbers. We have 070. Okay, so at the very least, this cut of cars is the one that we need. Let's apply a second handbrake so they don't move on us. It's actually a good thing that we did it from this end, because if we did it from the north end, we would have had to deal with all of those other cars, all the flat cars. So we accidentally did it the right way. I say accidentally because I did not know that this was what the yard looked like. It's lucky that it worked out that way. Now, in real life, you don't leave that up to luck. You coordinate with the yard master, you know where all of the cars are. You know what end of the cut of cars the ones you need are on. You know where the brakes are tied. You know all of that stuff in advance. So before we even leave the yard office, we already know what we're doing and how we're doing it. We know every move we're going to make before we do it. Well, ideally. There are times when you get out there and the plan changes, or they kind of make the plan up on the fly. Alright, see, this crossing is fine. It's outside of, like, the leads for the tracks. These crossings are cool. That other crossing is not. That other crossing is almost guaranteed to be blocked. Now, the good news is that we pull these out when I stop messing around with the switches, or stop messing around with my controllers. We pull these out, get past this switch right here, and we go right into the loading track. Then we take all of this over and put it onto B4O. In order to do that, we got to go back the way we came, back to the switch over there, and then we're golden. But we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. The good news is that when we get coupled into these cars right here, and we get them out of the way, we temporarily will not be blocking this crossing. However, it's only temporary, because what are we doing next? We're going to bring them onto the loading track. And then we'll have 7 cars, and these gondolas are shorter, so it's not too bad. believe it or not, there are longer versions of these. Maybe not in game, but in real life, there's more than one size gondola like this. And truthfully, these flat bottom gondolas like this freaking suck. I hate these cars. Because the ladders on the ends are always broken. Maybe one out of every 4 has a platform to cross over. And far too many of them have high up brake platforms, and then they're just annoying as all hell when it's raining. I freaking hate these cars so much. At least coal cars are bearable. These are freaking stupid. And the funny thing is, in real life, we actually do use these types of cars specifically for scrap metal. Basically, we'll shove whatever will fit into these cars. Alright, now we should do the intelligent thing and actually apply the independent brake. Because that is part of 3-step protection in order to get in between cars like this. Alright, now we are not going to do the stupid shit we did last time, and we are actually going to release the handbrakes that we applied. However, it's worth noting that we should not do it this way. You verify that you have air in the pipe before you knock off the handbrakes. As you can see there, we have air. But you're supposed to have air in the pipe before you knock off the handbrakes. Otherwise, the cars are going to run away because you aren't in control of them yet. It's a whole thing. There is so much that goes into yard operations on the railroad, and video games don't show it to you because, well, they don't necessarily know it. Let me see, if I... Okay, that actually paused it. Okay, so I will be right back. I need to go get batteries for my controllers. I will be right back. And just like that, I'm back again. With my controller batteries being fully charged again. And I also sprayed my left controller with my contact cleaner because the joystick was starting to drift again. I really hope I don't need to replace either of my controllers because I still have a Rift S. And that is special because Oculus doesn't make the Rift S anymore. You have to get the Quest. And while I like the idea of the Quest, like being able to play VR anywhere, I don't like the fact that it has to be charged. Like, it's awesome that it's portable and you can take it anywhere, but the battery life isn't what I would want. Like, I like the fact that my Rift is plugged into my computer and I can play it for as long as I can without getting sick. I'm only limited by my own ability. Shit. Alright, we gotta go a little farther. Alright. Now, I've commented on this a few times on, like, the Derail Valley Discord server. When you look at, like, a Switch like this, the actual throw arm is, in fact, right over here by the point itself. So the target is pretty much right next to the point. There's not, like, this 4.5 foot gap. Like, that's not a thing. The Switch target and the lever are both right here. So if you get past the switch point, you're pretty much past, or you get past the target, you're past the switch. It doesn't work like that in Derail Valley, unfortunately. Okay. Now, while these cars are empty like this, you can pretty much stop with just the independent. Like, we technically didn't need to tie the air in, and we could have just done this without air. But they're getting loaded, so it only makes sense to tie the air, because once these actually do get loaded like they're supposed to be, they're going to get a lot heavier, and then the ability to stop them with just the independent gets harder and harder. Now, the game simulates damage to the wheels, like if you're going through a lot of wheel slip, or if you lock the brakes and start dragging. But it doesn't worry too much about the brakes themselves. Like, we don't have damage on, like, the brake shoes, for example. Okay, now, we're going to do the responsible thing in this situation, And we are actually going to shove down, because the loading track is pretty good size, we're going to get all of our engines clear of this crossing. The game may not worry about these things, but we're going to. Let's start applying some brakes. A little too much brakes. Alright, and then after we're clear, we're going to walk down to the other end and make sure that our cars are still within the boundaries of the other end. Alright. So we are completely in the clear. Fully set the independent, and then we're going to walk down here, and there is the clearance point sign, so we are within the boundaries of the track. All right. Now, the funny thing is, that's 070, and this is 944. So basically, what this means is, once again, we accidentally did it the way the game wants us to do it. That would be a way to die right there. Get run over by a freaking crane. Which, also funny story, usually when these are moving, they have a siren on them. There are flashing lights and a siren every time this thing moves. But because this car is after that one, even on the cut sheet, it means we accidentally did this the way the game wants us to. Okay. We actually did it intelligently, which is a new one. Also, what I just did there, don't do that. There's a reason we want to be at least 10 feet away from coupler knuckles. And these specifically are even worse than what I deal with in real life. And what I mean by that is these use the European chain buffer system. So when we're worried about like the spring popping out, or the buffer spring in the draft gear for the coupler knuckle, we're worried about that punching out at you. These have 2 sets of springs on each end of the car, or engine in this case. So we only have to worry about 1 spring mechanism killing us. There's 2 on this one. Alright, now we gotta be over here. And definitely don't cross in front of moving equipment if you can avoid it. Alright, now this is going to be extremely heavy. So basically we're gonna need the yeah, we're gonna need the train brake for this. This is not gonna be easy to stop. And when we actually start building all of this to go, it's going to be rough. Alright, let's give it a little bit more throttle. It's like we are absolutely going to need all of these engines when this gets loaded, or when the full train gets built. Alright, there's 2, 3, 4 cars to clear. Alright, let's start applying some brakes. Alright, 1 car. Just made it. Okay, now release the train brake, fully apply the independent. And we can also line this from the loading track. We're going to line it back for the inbound track, because whenever we come up here normally, we have to go into the inbound. Alright. Now, the next part of this move is going to be a little bit interesting, because you'll notice that over here on B40, there's already cars there. So actually, we need to change our marker. Oh, put the... whatever. Because that is not going to be the aft. That is not going to be the back cut of cars. Yeah, that's not going to be the cut. This is going to be the last one. So 92 is going to be the last. Yeah, because we're specifically going into... Alright, so we need 2 handbrakes applied on this end. So we can knock off this handbrake. Alright, now, the reason I say this next move is going to be a little bit interesting is because there's already cars on this track. So we need to shove them down far enough to get our current train in the clear. So you can hear the engine spooling up over there. Oh, god damn it. Alright, let's update the count again. Alright, now, what we just did wrong there is we need to come this way. We're currently going that way. So you hear the engine spooling up. Okay, so you see right there, the last car is moving, but we don't want to move too fast because otherwise this gets bad. Like, if you go above 7 kilometers an hour, when you actually make contact with other cars, you start breaking things. And as you can probably guess, that is not a good idea. But with a bunch of cars loaded with scrap metal, these are all loaded with the same thing. So you look right here, 42,000 kilograms, 16,000 just for the gondola itself. This is pretty freaking heavy. So, simple physics. Force is mass times acceleration. Translation, heavy thing at any amount of speed has a lot of force. Which is why there are these heavy-duty spring mechanisms right here. These take a lot of force, and they basically cushion the impact to prevent these cars from getting destroyed. Alright, first switch out. Alright, let's speed up a little bit. Alright, now it looks like that target's facing the right direction. Alright, so we are at the coupling, mostly. I generally try to stand like here-ish, personally. Alright, a little bit further. Now, we set the handbrakes on this end. So it shouldn't hit it that hard. Okay. Now, the thing is, we have to get these in far enough. That basically the other cut actually fits. And is this 4? Yeah, 3's not labeled. Okay. And then in order to complete the assignment, we have to tie a handbrake on the cut that we're bringing in. But we'll be responsible and we'll tie at least 2. Now, truthfully, this is how you would do this for the most part. Like, if you have to add more cars to a track, you tie in, or you couple into them, you tie the air. Like, you couple in, you tie the air. You knock off the handbrakes, and you push the cars that you've got deeper into the track until the ones that you're adding are in the clear. Took a little long, but it's whatever. Oh god, no. No, no, no. No, you go over there. I'm not dealing with your shit right now. Okay, so there is 33. That's the 7 cars we just had. 92, which is going to be the back one, and 60. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the ass. What the? No, Grandpa. Where am I? Alright, now this is 92. Okay, that is good news. Alright, so we have 33, 60, and 92. Okay, so 92 is going to be the last one. Well, we got good news, bad news. You look at 33. Okay, that one's fine. Alright, we gotta shuffle this around. Shit. Alright. We need this one to be last. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we need this one to be last. It has to happen. Because we have to go through the through track, because these have to be shoved up into the A lot. And that is gonna suck. So Yeah, those have to be shoved up into the A lot, so that's not gonna work. Alright, so luckily we just tied some brakes on this. Leave that open, leave that closed. That is a much more violent process when those break apart. Alright, we need 2-0, so we need this track right here. Yeah, this is 92. So 92, 33, 60 from front to back. This is the part that actually makes this job interesting in real life. Generally, it's not up to you as the conductor to make these determinations. Usually it's made by a yardmaster. But when you're doing like a local job where there isn't a yardmaster, you have to make these decisions. Like, you have to decide what car or what blocks need to go in what places in order to spot them at the customers where they need to go. Did we make it? Yes, we did. Okay. So we got to get a little bit creative with how we plan this out. Let's open that up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, let's just slam into the cars at twice the coupling speed. There's no way that could possibly backfire. Alright, good to go. Alright, that's gonna hit pretty hard. Alright, and that's why we tie the handbrakes on this side, so they don't push that far. Okay. Air hose, already opened that one, Alright, now, we're going to do this the correct way, and we're going to go back here and make sure that we have air. Typically, you would make sure that you're fully charged, and it would take a little bit of time to pressurize all of the cars, but since this is like 4 cars, 5 or 6 maybe, this one's not that long, and you would verify it with an air gauge or an end of train device. All right. Supposedly, they want to put one of those in the game. All right. But for now, all we've got is the marker lantern. Alright, now I need to hit this switch right here. Okay. Never really look at the skybox too much. But it's interesting because in real life there are a handful of constellations that, for some odd reason, I'm always able to find them. I don't know if any of them are modeled in-game, though. It's a relatively minor detail. Hello. It's going alright. I decided to stream Derail Valley for the first time in a little while. Last time I tried playing the Hunter Call of the Wild, and it didn't go so well. Turns out I kind of suck at the game, so... naturally, nobody watched it. Now, the title of the stream says I'm trying to get back to the harbor, but there wasn't anything going to the harbor. So we're going the indirect way. Yeah, I don't think the notifications on Twitch work. In fact, the ones that I have notifications on for, I can't even see when they're streaming. I have to search for their... I actually have to search for their channel. And it's like the weirdest thing. Alright, so... Alright, we are backing up. Basically, what we've got going on is we're taking the long way to get back to the harbor, and we are going by way of the steel mill. So we're going to take a bunch of scrap metal over to the steel mill. It's going to be a royal pain to get it there. The reason being... this back cut of cars that are like 4 cars back here, these have to go onto the A track. Whereas everything else is going to be 3I. Things are going alright so far. I've been a fully marked up conductor for over 3 months now. I switched yards once. I went out and worked on coal trains for almost a month. And then I got bumped off of it because my seniority is a joke. Well, the thing was, I was trying to go to the steel mill because I know that once I get to the steel mill, more than likely there are going to be at least a couple of flat trains of like rails going to the harbor. So I got all 3 jobs of scrap metal going to the steel mill. And then I found out that the one that I had to couple into with the... I'm freaking stupid. The one I had to couple into, because I did a 4th job where I actually filled all of these cars, like 944 down. I loaded these, and then they had to go to this outbound track. So originally the plan was that the cut that's now up front was actually going to be the back, until I got the job booklet and found out that those back 4 cars going to the A track. Now, I could have just thrown out the freaking book and just said to hell with the whole thing, but I was like, nah, I'm going to get it done. Oh. Well, we might want to make sure that's right first. Otherwise, we would have had a bad time. If we would have left these on, we just would have been dragging the brakes all the way to the steel mill. And that would have been bad. Basically, it smells awful. Alright. Now, let's pop this thing into reverse. Okay, now, the idea is we are going to line this for the through track. I don't think there's an inbound in the B area. So we're just going to line this for the through track. And then we're going to flip the other switch. Yeah, this one right here is 3. This is the through track. It's the only one that isn't labeled. Let's just break a few safety rules. Okay. Yeah, there is no inbound in the B lot. Only storage and outbound. So we're coming out of 4-0. We need to go past 3, which is the through track. So we got to get the last cars past this switch, and then we're golden. Even the military base let me down because there was nothing going to the harbor. There's one being unloaded that came from the harbor, but the other thing's going to the military base in the mountains. And that's not worth it unless I have Mill 3, which I do not have yet. It's like the only license I don't have yet. I've got Hazmat 3, but I don't have Military 3. Other than that, I think I have every license on this save. Alright, as soon as we're past this. Alright, good to go. Now we gotta go over to the other switch, which is this one right here, and we have to line this for the C track. Now I should be using my lantern out here. That's weird. Alright. Yeah, the last time that I streamed Derail Valley, I came here to the machine factory and I got a new regular lantern and a new EOTD lantern, or EOT lantern, and a new flashlight. So basically I got I got extra stuff. Alright, let's drop that right there. I want to say that I'm nicer to my lantern in real life, but no, mine gets dropped and thrown around all the time. That's why it looks as beat up as it does. All right. Okay, let's grab this. Put it over there. Grab this, put it over there. And then we are good to go. Close the doors, and we'll get rolling. Alright, now, the thing is, let's see, I've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. Alright, so we're not doing too bad. I have to decide if I'm going to get everything like unpacked and put away. And then I have to decide if I'm going to actually get like a job going back to the harbor like my stream title says. Or if I'm just going to do that next time that I stream and then just retroactively change the title to hauling scrap metal to the steel mill. The verdict's still out. Every switch is backwards? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I tried mentioning that in the Discord, but I don't think it got through to anybody. Basically, when you play it in VR like we do, if you go to grab it, it puts your hand inside of the console, and it's just freaking weird. Does the same thing with starting the engine. Oh, we barely used 1/10 of the fuel. Now, really, I should have used dynamic from the start, because both the Slug and the DH4 all have dynamic brakes, so we can get a lot more use out of that going downhill. get it down a little bit farther than that, though, because when we get to City Southwest, there's that 30k speed zone. Alright, let's just set it up. If we look at the map, alright, that is a straight shot to the food factory, so there's no point in going that way. Because right now the game plan is we're going to go down to City Southwest, we're going to go around this way, and then we're going to go up around the Y, and then we're going to shove back into the steel mill. We're going to put... Oh, that's not going to be good. Okay. So, we're going to have to put everything onto the through track. And it's like we're gonna have to put everything onto the through track. Okay, change of plans. We're gonna do it a different way. Instead of going through the Y and then shoving into the steel mill, we're going to make that first left, and we're going to pull straight through the through track, and then we're going to have everything on this end. We're going to pull all the way through, shove the last block back into the A track, shove everything else onto B3I. Dynamic brake is putting in work today. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull through the steel mill, and then we're going to shove back onto the A track, onto the B track, and then we're good. And this end will be facing that way, so it'll be facing the correct direction when we go back into when we go back to the harbor. I should stop cutting off the brake altogether. I should just reduce the brake, but it's whatever. Alright. I mean, the good news is we're down to 20 kilometers an hour, so we'll be fine going into that sharp turn. We'll leave the dynamic setup. Actually, this doesn't even have a setup. It's either off or on. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But I'm still pretty sure I'm like a decade away from engine school. But as he said in the, as like Heist said in his video, there's only a light over there. To hell with the conductor. The conductor can sit in the darkness. Only the engineer needs a light. Ignore the fact that the conductor has all the paperwork to deal with. Well, not all of it. That's not completely true. The conductor has to deal with the paperwork for the train itself. The engineer has paperwork to deal with for the engines, like there are inspection sheets for different systems. and the engineer has to maintain those records for every engine in our train. Whereas I just have to focus on the cars. Alright, we're going left. Alright, now as you can see, we beat the 30k zone. So we're good. Now there should be one more crossing before we get out of town. Yep, right there. Alright. Let's keep this party going. Alright. Now, this engine is supposed to be my rear engine because this one's connected to the slug. So I intended for this one to be my back engine, but as you can see, it just didn't work out. Alright, now we gotta be, basically when we got to the machine factory, rather than spinning the power, we just had engines facing opposite directions, so it ended up just working out. But, which is exactly why we have this engine facing the opposite direction of the engine on the other end, specifically so you don't have to spin power. You can just run around the train and you can just go in that direction. You never have to go to the turntable. You don't have to go to a Y. You don't have to spin. You don't have to do any of that. Just have one facing this way, one facing that way. And then you can just take your engine consist and just go wherever. You don't have to worry about, like, which way are you facing. As long as you're on the front of the train, you have an engine looking in that direction. So, everything's golden. I think we just passed the Y, or the first Watt, going down to the sawmill. So the next one should be the long way to the sawmill, or Forest South. Either way. Where's the... It says it's still playing. And you can just listen to me ranting about bizarre things for a little while. It's whatever. Alright, this should be the bigger Y that will take the long way to the sawmill. Alright, let's keep it going slow. You don't want to go too fast through here. At least they fixed it where it stopped randomly derailing in this area. But even then, you don't want to go too fast. It'll be interesting when they add like a road system so that there are actually like roads that get between the different areas. So then there'll be more crossings. Hopefully the crossings themselves will get animated. Maybe the lights will work, the siren will work, all that fun stuff. Now, the thing about speed zones is that sign back there was for a 30-kilometer-an-hour speed zone. Alright, no big deal. So you would think that as soon as you reach a higher speed limit, you can go faster. No. You can't go the higher speed until your entire train has passed that sign. So, when you enter into a higher speed zone, well, now we have the PTC, which is positive train control. It tells you when your entire train is in that speed zone. But what you would do in this case, you have like, you verify your speed, or you verify your speedometer with like a measured mile. So you'll have like a little table that tells you at this speed it should take you this many seconds from sign to sign for a measured mile test area. It should take you this many seconds at this speed to go the measured mile. So you verify that your speed's good. Then you have a distance counter, so you know how long your train is. You verify that your speedometer is accurate, and then the speedometer is tied to the distance counter. So you pass a set point, like say we pick this cattail. We pick that. We start the distance counter. We know we're going this speed, so it starts counting how many feet we've traveled. And basically, once you hit your train length plus another 300 feet or whatever, you know that you've fully passed that point. We have automated systems that basically do this for you, and they take all the guesswork out of it. But basically, there are a lot of checks you go through to make sure that you'll fit, to make sure you've gotten past a certain mile marker. Like, say, you don't want to block a road crossing, so you activate your distance counter as soon as you get to the crossing to make sure that you are completely past the crossing if for some reason you have to stop. All kinds of stuff like that goes into this. Now, realistically, when we passed by all of those cars, I should have turned on the bell. something, but that's not... What the hell was that? Right. Going crazy. We're seeing freaking Bigfoot in Oil Well Central. Fantastic. Alright. Alright. Now we gotta get to the farm. But we're gonna have to stop just past the farm. And the reason for that is because we gotta line this switch, and then we gotta go ahead and line that switch, because that switch is guaranteed to be against us. Alright. So... like, you don't need to blow the horn unless you definitively see people working there, but you do need to turn on the bell. So if there are people that you don't see, they know you're there. Because the last thing you want to do is be working on one of these cars and then jump out and then suddenly crane. Now you're plastered to the front of it. That's a good way to become slightly less alive than you were when you started. Oh, and there's a crossing here anyway. That's another crossing that doesn't make a damn bit of sense, because you couldn't use that crossing if you wanted to. And that's pretty bad, because the farm specifically, there aren't a lot of roads. And you would think with all of these, like, standing, like, train cars just sitting here, you would really think there would be, like, a bridge across it. But, for whatever reason, there isn't. It's a whole thing. Oh, and that's one of the new milk tankers. I've seen tankers for all kinds of crazy things, but I haven't seen a milk tanker in real life. Alright, that's where we're going. The heater would be like right here. And also right there. And then the AC would be up there on an engine like this. Alright, now, in theory... Yeah, that's how you jump. That's how you run through a switch. kill the oh wait, no, we cannot kill the throttle because this is the steepest freaking hill in the game. Alright, so we get to the bridge. Alright, there's the bridge. That because it's still only 50 through here. Okay, it's 50 through there. And now the other switch is going to be against us, so we got to keep an eye out for that. Now we're going to have to go back and make sure that we line all of these back to the normal position, because usually I don't use the Y in this way. A scream? I hope that's in game. But then at the same time, I kinda don't. Okay, we have enough power to get into the steel mill. Is the problem with slowing down coming in here is if you're too heavy, you might not be able to start again. And therein lies a problem. Alright, points good. Alright, we're on the through track. Alright. Let's slow it down a little bit. Okay, good. See those over there? Those are rail cars. It's like those have rails in them. So, guaranteed, those are going to the harbor for export. The bar stock and cold rolled steel might be going that way. Alright, we should already be going at, like, restricted speed. But we're not, because we're stupid and irresponsible. Yeah, it's like we should already be at restricting speed, but we're not because we're stupid and irresponsible. So... oh, now I can hear the music again. Alright, now we need A6I. Alright. Oh, wait, no, not that one. That's floating. As I'm doing this, my train is just casually running away. I mean, it still hasn't cleared the switch. We're good. This sequel to Unstoppable is looking a little disappointing. It's not even under power. Like, the throttle's in idle. We're fine. It'll buff out. Now, that was probably a bad decision, because we gotta wait for the brakes to charge before they can be applied again. So we put this on, and it might not work. Alright, let's slam the independent on. Knock off the train brake. Alright, now the thing is that this is partially uphill coming into the steel mill. It's actually kind of unfortunate that the steel mill is where they send you first, because this is where you're gonna have some difficulties doing this. But on the plus side, by having difficulty doing it, you're getting like the full experience. You're learning how to do this. It might seem like a trial by fire, but you're learning how to do this. Like, you learn how this works, you learn how to move around in the yard, and just with the amount of different things that you might see in the steel mill, you actually get a pretty well-rounded experience by coming here. It's just, it's not gonna be easy. But then again, there's really nothing in this game that is easy. But as I've seen multiple times in my relatively short railroad career, so far, knock on wood, is that we don't do easy days. That's just not a thing. Yeah, easy just doesn't happen in this job. Your day's either gonna suck, or it's gonna really suck. there's a possibility that it might not suck that much, but it's still gonna suck. As we're always saying, this job would not... You could not get anyone to do this job if it did not pay as well as it does. Alright, now we just gotta get 4 cars past the clearance point, which is basically right here where the pad starts.
Let me show you something.
Why didn't you listen to me?
Alright, so we're making progress. Gonna get these put away. And all will be right in the world. And now we're up into the flat part of the yard, so we're not losing too much speed. We're just kind of like coasting in. There are some steep hills getting into the steel mill, but luckily once you're already in the yard, it's mostly flat. I gotta figure out what I'm having for dinner today. I say that, but it's only 2 in the afternoon, or it's 2:15. Alright. .96. This is 354 and 208. It's still funny that the way they did it in the game, like you can access the brake wheel from both sides, but you can only get the bleed valve from one side. And I always say that that's funny because with side-mounted brakes, you can only get to the brakes from one side, but the bleed valve is on both sides. Alright. Now let's put this away. Oh, just missed it. Oh well. Yeah, see, going to the harbor. Yeah. Harbor. Alright, so we got options. Alright, we need 3I. Oh, we kind of missed a grade crossing. Oh well. These things happen. Oh wait, no, I need this switch. Yeah, right here. Oh, and you know what we messed up on? We left the marker. This is exactly why I got a new one. Well, basically I got a second one in case I have like multiple cuts of cars that need to go like a considerable distance, like moving between like vastly different blocks in like the harbor, for example. Alright, now we gotta get to this switch. We should not be going that fast. Not, well, it's flat right there, but it's not gonna be flat for long. Okay, now we need to get this track right here. All right. All right, we are moving. Now, since there are no gates at this particular crossing, it means we got to be out here with flags anyway. Now, this is going to be interesting because the way the game works, each block has to have a brake applied. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to spot these down at the south end over here. Yeah, I'm going to spot these down here. And then I'm going to separate them by at least a car length if I can. That way I have 2 handbrakes on each section. I mean, given how few cars we've got, it shouldn't be too hard to get these pretty deep in here. Like, we probably don't even have to go all the way back. We can probably go to, like, we can spot the first car, like, right here. It's like we can spot it, like, right here. And then pull back and spot the other cut and still be before the sign. It should be fine. But we don't need to go 10 kilometers an hour. Not exactly spicy speed, but it's a little fast for moving in the yard, as luck would have it. Alright, so we're going to spot this car just past here. Let's try to get it stopped around about there. Alright. Now we need the 33, which is this one right here. No. This is the 984. Alright, so we can go all the way to... We're going to tie the brakes on the 070, which is this one right here, and the 944. So there's one... No. It needs to be fully applied. And this is the 944. So, we close that. Close this side. Okay. Now, realistically, what I should do is I should go and refuel my engines. Alright, let's spot these. Here our work. There's brake and brake. Yeah, what I should do is go and refuel these. All right. Now let's go get these turned in. Alright. Didn't make a whole hell of a lot, but we made something. So yeah, the right thing to do is to refuel these and get them ready for the next job, and then pay my environmental fees, and then we'll just change the stream title to hauling scrap metal to the steel mill instead. Truthfully, I didn't remember what was available in the machine factory the last time that I played. So we're gonna pop this. Alright, so that means we're lined for the through track. Now we gotta go over here and we gotta get lined back into the shop. The funny thing is, when you get like a yard train in real life, this is pretty much what you end up doing. You break down the train, put the cars onto the tracks that they tell you they need to be on, and then you take your engines over to get refueled. Like, this is literally a thing that happens every day. Okay. We are going to walk over and line those switches before we stop for the day, though. Because I don't like leaving the switches lined for a place I'm not going to go. So we gotta fix the Y at the south end. Yeah, we could have made the time bonus, but I'm not overly worried about it. I can take my time and just go nice and slow, and we'll be good. Alright, so we're lined for the shop. I don't remember what yard that is. Is that the C track? And then I think D's over there. But the only thing that goes over there are engines normally. Something goes in there, but I don't remember what. Oh no, that might still be A. Because that's 5 and 6, so that should be 1 through 4. Yeah. And then we're lined into the shed. Then we can start refueling and resupplying all of our engines. Then we gotta go reline. What? See, we got a DH4. Might be a DE2. What would be even funnier is if that was a DE6 and they just somehow managed to have it canted at an angle so that it looks like a 2. But no, that's a 2. 6 is darker. Excuse me. No steamer this time. Okay. Let's hop off. Here's the fuel hose. Alright. Let's spot it. Right there-ish. Perfect. Okay. Alright. Let's secure the engines. Was it even running? Breakers. Good. I wonder if they fixed it to where you can't break the slug. I'm worried that the 4 is still running. Okay, no, that's what the problem was. Basically, the starter got stuck. Which, that's not good, but I don't know what causes it. I don't know why it does that. Alright, let's put this away. Okay. Now is that on? Okay, good. This is even funnier that it's pouring down. That it's pouring down rain, because just the other day I was out in the rain all day long. It was a freaking mess. All right. Fantastic. Okay, supposedly it can break. All right, $24,000. Oh, good. There's a freaking dumpster right there. Okay, now we gotta get a picture of this. Let's no. Actually is a way to take a screenshot using the Rift controllers, but I don't remember how to do it. It's like hold the menu buttons and the triggers at the same time or something like that. Alright, so alright. All of the switches are lined. Alright, and that's lined back for the main. Alright, now we go over here, and we go in, we look at our fees. Yeah, see, I have like $760,000 remaining on my copay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I need $400,000. Yeah, I have 21 out of 22 licenses. And I only have $179,000, so I'm not getting the Mill 3 yet. But the day will come. So it's been about 2.5 hours, which isn't too bad, all things considered. So, as a bit of a recap of what we've managed to accomplish today, and I got both of my lanterns back, so we're good there. Alright, so as a bit of a recap of what we've managed to accomplish in this stream, started off in the machine factory, and the hope was to get to the the hope was to get to the harbor, but there weren't any jobs going to the harbor, so the next option was go to the steel mill. And then from the steel mill, we'll go to the harbor next. I like how it's starting to get like more variety in the places that they send you. Like there were only like designated places that went to certain places, but now they're starting to mix it up. Like you would only take like hoppers and gondolas to the mines. Now we're taking it to the farm instead. It's interesting. We're seeing like more variety. Anyway, we're now staged here in the steel mill. It's pouring down rain, so it's just another outstanding, sunny, marvelous day working on the railroad. So, just like real life. We're set up in the harbor. We're set up in the steel mill. We brought 3 separate trains or 3 separate blocks of scrap metal, all bound to come here. And from here, we can build a rail train, or we can load rails, and then we can carry a few rails down to the harbor. So, next stream, we can get to the harbor if I actually remember to do it. So, we got from the machine factory to the steel mill carrying scrap metal. We did some work in the yard on both ends. We loaded one of the scrap metal cars, or we loaded one of the cuts of scrap metal. And then we got everything down here to the steel mill where we had to put 4 cars over in the A lot, and that was a pain. And then we had to break apart the other 2 cuts and put them over here in the B track. And all of that's good. Oh. Was this always here? Huh. Fascinating. Alright, whatever. Point is, I had to do a little bit of work in the yard. Went and refueled our engines. Got all that taken care of. We're still not even halfway to getting the last license. We need some better paying jobs than carrying scrap metal. But the thing is, we got all of that taken care of in 2.5 hours. Which, in real life, all those movements today would have been a 12-hour day. It's like today would have been a 12-hour day. If we did this if I did this in real life, like this exact job, like what I've done on this stream, I would have gotten some overtime today. That would have been an all-day evolution. But in any regard, this has been Derail Valley. Thank you all for watching. Oh, yeah, I'm actually just about to stop for now. Yeah, basically I was just wrapping everything up. Got everything brought over here to the steel mill. Got everything broken down, put away, tied down. I missed the time bonus by like 15 minutes. It's whatever. You didn't miss a whole lot. As long as the music from Streamlabs doesn't get copyright claimed, which is kind of funny that happens, because supposedly by telling them your Twitch channel and your YouTube channel, they don't copyright strike, or they don't copyright claim and have to mute the audio on your stream. Question: you're gonna buy the US DLC when it comes out? Yes. And I will also buy Railroader when it comes out later this month. Because train is life, as it seems. But yeah, I got everything set up that I can go to the harbor next time that I play. So we're gonna load these cars, couple them to these cars, and we're gonna take all that back to the harbor. And as you can see right here, the harbor has everything. So yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. So, as I said, this has been Derail Valley. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you have a nice day.